Greetings and welcome to my weekday devotional for Wednesday, the 22nd of November. And our reading from Galatians 5 verse 23, but we will actually read from John chapter 19 and verses 25 to 27. Now by the cross of Jesus stood his mother and his mother's sister Mary, that's the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. Then Jesus, seeing his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing there, said to her, "Woman, look, here is your son." Next he said to the disciple, "Look, your mother." And from that hour that disciple took her into his own home. Finally, there was this incident at the cross where Jesus speaks to his mother and to John, his disciple. There are two stories about George Washington that give some illustration of how biblical gentleness could be displayed. The stories may or may not be true, but they show him to be not only a gentleman, but a man also a gentle man. There was an occasion when he was fox hunting with a group of friends. One of the fields they were going through was bordered by a stone wall. As his horse jumped the wall, it knocked off a stone. Washington immediately stepped down and got off his horse and replaced the stone. And one of his friends said, "Look, you're too big a man to bother with that." George Washington replied gently, "No, I am just the right size." The second story tells of a corporal at a place called Valley Forge. He was directing 3 men as they tried to lift a log into place. It was too heavy for them, but the corporal commanded the men again and again, "All right, men, 1, 2, 3, lift." A man in an overcoat came by and said to the corporal, "Why don't you help them?" The corporal pulled himself up to his full height and replied, "Sir, I'm a corporal." Without a word, the man in the overcoat stepped over and helped the 3 men. And with his help, the log went easily into place. And that man was George Washington. Gentleness includes true humility that does not consider itself too good or too exalted for humble tasks. We use the term gentlefolk, which means people of good breeding. Is there any better breeding that we can find than that in 1 John chapter 3 and verse 1? Look at the kind of love the Father has given to us that we should be called the children of God. And we are. The reason the world does not know us is because it did not know him. Have a great day in the gentleness of Jesus.